Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, today we got in the left corner, ready to come out swinging today for the first Wednesday of the month in February, the second month of a brand new year. None other than the one we love the most out of Houston, Texas, / Baltimore, Maryland, the great, the one and only Mr. Shakeel Cooper.
I'm excited to be back on the call. How you guys been? It's always great to be on these calls. I think this is like our 5th year. This is like one of the other most consistent things I've done in a very, very long time. But it's always good to get on a call, share different topics and different things that can help you guys. Today we don't have no script, we don't have no PowerPoint because we want to start off the month. We're just having a conversation. I think it's always better to have a conversation and just what's your goals? It's the first of the month. Do you already have your goals right now for February? A lot of times, we want all these things in life, but are we willing to put in the work for it? Every time I get on this call, I'm telling you guys over and over, you got to do the same thing over and over and over. Even when you don't feel like it, you got to do it anyway. And I always like to tie it back to what I'm doing right now. Going to the gym. I've been with my trainer since August 1st until now, consistent, not missing a week. So just imagine being consistent to do something that you don't want to do. Who want to wake up 4:30 in the morning to just go work out when I can just go work out at 9, 10 a.m. and when I wake up? But what it does is that it trains me to just, even though you don't like it and you do it over and over, what happens is that you start to see results. So we tie that back to ACN. You might not feel like talking to people. You might not even feel like going to another training event, but I promise you, by just doing the things that you don't feel like doing, that's when you tend to have more success. The days that I don't feel like getting up and going to the gym is the days where I feel like I did my best. So it's just like anything in life. What you do is get out there every single day and just do it. You get great at the business by just doing it. So if you have a problem with talking to people, guess what? Just talk to more people. Whatever your issue is that you find that, man, I'm having a hard time with this, just keep doing it. And the more that you do it, the easier that it become. One of the things that I love that we have been able to do in this opportunity was the training events. Anyone can get involved in this opportunity and have success because everything in this business is learned. It's a skill. It's just like any other skill. Guess what? If you do it over and over and over, people that's barbers, guess what? They didn't wake up and started cutting hair. People that do any type of skill, basketball, football, any of these people, celebrities, musicians, anyone that you see that's great at what they do, they did not wake up and became great. They put in the work many, many, many years. A lot of times people hear the great stories, but they don't understand that it's a lot of work. I've been doing full-time entrepreneurship going on what? 12, 13 years? I haven't even took a vacation. Every time I went out of the country or anywhere, it was a trip. It was a free trip, So, because I'm sacrificing right now, just put in the time. Just put 20 years full-time entrepreneurship. You can kick your feet up, and then guess what? You can work smart instead of working hard. But just imagine if you had an opportunity at 20 years old where they said, you know what? If you just put in 20 more years of just work, sacrifice, just 20 years of consistently, by the time you're 40 years old, you'll be living how most people that put in that type of work live when they 60, 70 years old. Because I plan on living until I'm 100. I don't know about you guys, So I know I got 60 plus more years after I turn 40 to be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor, to do all the things that I want to do today, to be able to travel to all the countries. Guess what? All the things that we want right now is not going anywhere. It's not. That car, guess what? They're going to make a new one next year. That house, they're going to make a better one next year. You got to understand that when you get involved in entrepreneurship, that this business, it's a long term. It's not a sprint. Yes, you may have success fast, which is great, but can you sustain that success? Can you continue to go on and on and on and on and on and do it when you don't feel like it? Because most people normally tends to give up when times get tough. And I don't understand why people give up, because at the end of the day, you're going to have to do the work anyway. You're going to have to do the work. ACN is not hard. It's just doing the same thing over and over is hard. If they tell you drink water every single day for a year, most people can't even do that. And they consider that hard. What I love about what we do is that you get a chance to learn how to network. You get a chance to learn how to speak better. You get a chance to just, the tools that we learn in network marketing, you can take it anywhere and be successful. Haven't you noticed that when most people get involved in ACN. Anything that they seem to put their drive and energy into, they tend to have success. And they always said, man, I learned it from ACN. Most people didn't even know how to wear a suit until they got started in ACN. Most people didn't get recognized for anything they do until they got involved in ACN. So for me, understanding that the opportunity that we have is so much bigger than making money, but at the end of the day, if you could do something that you love and make money and help people at the same time, why not do it? Because at the end of the day, bills are going to go up anyway. The higher the bill goes, the more money we make. It's a win-win situation. So I love to look at things from a grateful standpoint, and I don't like to complain a lot because at the end of the day, there's a blessing in anything that's going on. The fact that you even had the opportunity to get involved in this business, you should be very proud because there's people that never heard of ACM before. They never even heard of getting paid on bills, but we have been able to get an opportunity to get paid on bills, and guess what? They got to pay it. Every single day, these bills got to get paid, and you now have the opportunity to get paid on these bills. Why not build a massive team? Just think about it 10 years from now. What if you really put in the work? I look at my team, we're putting in the work, we're grinding, we're moving as one organization because the ultimate goal is financial freedom. That's why we're signing up new business partners. We're getting new people qualified. We're getting checks cut every single week. One of the things that we have been able to do in the business is, listen, it don't matter what the check is, as long as the check get cut every single week, we're winning. You want to get in the habit of start cutting checks. Because when you start cutting checks, guess what? People are motivated. You want to motivate your team, get them paid. Listen, think about it at work, right? You want to motivate somebody at work, let your boss give you a raise. You're going to be there extra hour early. So money motivates people. So you got to understand that the more money people start making on your team, it's like, oh no, I can really believe in this a little bit more. I do believe that ACN can one day, change my life. Because at the end of the day, if you put in the work over a long period of time, it can. It's not a lottery ticket. You have to put in the work. The people that you see at the top, they didn't land at the top. They put in many, many, many years of work. But I can honestly tell you that the work is worth it. But it's not easy. Anything that you do over a long period of time is not easy. It's days I feel like, I just want to sleep all day. But I can't sleep. I can't remember last time I just slept. Why? Because guess what? I know I got to put in the work because that one day that you take a day off could have been the one day that you met that one person that could have changed your business forever. Because they only take one person to inspire the rest of your organization to change your business forever. When I got involved in the business, a lot of people businesses changed for the better. A lot of people. Why? Because they got a chance to hear a story about a young guy from Applebee's, no business background, having success. They never heard of that before. No business background, to be able to get involved in a business and just say, you know what, I'm gonna stop doing everything. I'm gonna stop going to school. I'm gonna quit my job, and I'm just gonna do this. I was crazy back then, but guess what? You know, I believed in what I was doing so much that I was willing to sacrifice the short-term comfortability of having a job and getting paid and, going to school and say, you know what, I can still work. No, I just said to myself, you know what, you got to stick at one thing and make it work. And I'm not telling you to do the same thing because when you're 20, you don't have no responsibilities. I'm still a kid, so I had all the time in the world. So I took advantage of it. When most people was playing around in their early 20s, I was building businesses. I was putting all the money I make back into the business. Why do you think we continue to become so successful over the years? Because I wasn't just sitting back with my feet up. I was taking the money I was making, putting it back, investing back into the business. Why? Because guess what? The more that you invest back into your business, the better your business become. That's how I look at the business. Just keep feeding it, keep feeding it. It's just like anything. You nurture it. You put time in it. Listen, it's not an overnight process. Yes, you may have a good month. But where are you going to be 10 years from now? Where are you going to be 15 years from now? I plan on being here a very, very long time. Because I understood that when I got started in the business, I said to myself, this is for the long haul. This is for my grandkids. See, most people are just thinking about themselves. This is for my son kids. That's why I'm doing it. And you now have the opportunity to get involved at the right time. You ever notice that opportunities come to people at the right time? It's just most people, they just don't take advantage of it because you think that it's going to be this easy for the next 5, 10 years. But as you understand that everything changes. So as everything changes, you also have to change. How many people are you talking to every single day? Are you marketing? Are you on social media? Are you outside meeting new people? Are you growing your network? Or are you sitting in the house every single day watching the news with your feet up? You can't meet nobody in the house. I watched a video the other day, and the guy was saying that, your house is only meant for 7 hours of your day. The rest of the day, you are supposed to be outside networking, unless you bring everyone to your house. You are supposed to be outside networking in the world. You are only supposed to be in the house for about 7 hours of the day. That's why I'm always gonna go. I'm always on the go. Why? Because I'm not trying to get comfortable. I'm not trying to wake up in the morning, watch the news, hang out, and no, 4:30, I'm up. I, actually, I woke up at 3:30 last night. I'm very, very tired. But guess what? We gotta go. The sun is up. So as long as the sun is up, I'm up. And that's the mentality that I have, that I just trick my mind to just, even though you don't feel like doing something, do it. I gotta go shoot content in a few. I got another meeting after I get off of here. It's like I wake up in the morning, my phone don't stop ringing until I go to sleep. And I do it every single day, nonstop, every single day, because at the end of the day, I'd rather do it now. Just do it now. Do it when you don't feel like doing it. Because you guys have the opportunity to have someone like Mr. Thomas, where he's very hands-on. Do you know that most people wish that they actually had a mentor that actually do these things, get other leaders on the call to do these type of calls? Because we don't do these calls. I don't do this call for anybody else. I'm going to be honest. Mr. Thomas is probably one of the only few that can, I never tell him no. He said, I need you. Anyone can just call my phone and say, hey, no, it don't work like that. So you guys are so fortunate to hear from someone that really did it. Like with Mr. Thomas, he's done it, but you also get a chance to hear from someone else like me. So that way you have no excuses. You have no excuses. Because if I can do it and he can do it, what's your excuse? It's just a matter of just doing it. Stop thinking about it. Thinking about it is harder than just doing it. Don't complain about it. Start manifesting. How you start your day is everything. I show people manifestations. I said everything that I was going to do in ACN, I'm going to do it. And I'm not surprised. I just do the work. And I know, listen, I will be a senior vice president. It's been written since October 27, 2013. See, I'm not focused on the win. I already know the end goal. So many people get caught up on, no, just do the work. Write the date down, do the work, and guess what? It's a matter of time before it happens. But you can write it down all you want, but if you don't do the work, and it's going to take you years. It might take you 10 years, 15 years, but guess what? It's still worth it. Because at the end of the day, the years are going to fly by anyway. You know how happy I am that I started this business October 27, 2013? Imagine if I started now. I would hate myself, but I would love myself also. Because I'm like, man, all those years that went by, me getting started, that's why one of the reasons why I still override most. If you're in Maryland, you're going to come under my team. Why? Because that's why I started at. I was the first one in. Listen, it feels good to be first because guess what? Everybody, it's people on my team that I haven't seen in years, and they just signing people up. They still working. I'm like, man, you imagine starting something 12 years ago and you still getting paid from something that you started 12 years ago? Most people are still paying a car note for something that they bought 12 years ago. If you grow it the right way, it's going to continue to grow. That's what I love about the business. It's so simple. You build it right, they're going to do what they tell you. Build a team of people that's required to go out there and just have fun and just build a business. It's a fun business. These are the only requirements. Have fun and just go out there and talk to people. Why are you not excited that you got an opportunity? The average person don't have opportunities, but you have an opportunity. So you should be grateful. You should be excited. You should have the mindset that at the end of the day, I have something that most people don't. I have an opportunity to change my life and to change anybody's life that values the information that I'm going to share. So what I like about the ACN opportunity is that anyone can start over today. You can be brand new. If you're on this call right now, be brand new. Just be a student of the business. Learn it. Stop focusing on how much money you can make, but focus on how much information, how much things you can learn. Because once you have those tools, you're always going to make money. You're always going to make money. Making money is easy in the business. It's the person that you want to become. Anyone can make money. You can go deliver pizza and make money. But what are the skills that you're going to learn? What are the skills that you're going to take out there? And then now You can do it in the real world. Anywhere I go now, guess what? I'm like Superman. I can just go put my suit on and transform and talk to anybody. I can talk to the president. I can talk to anyone. Why? Because the skills that I've learned in ACN, it allowed me to be able to adapt in many different rooms. So again, what are you going to do different this year than last year? The last time we spoke was last year. Did you do any new changes? Did you say, you know what, I'm going to start working out? Did you say, I'm going to start writing out my goal? Did you say, I'm going to start talking to 10 people a day? Did you make any positive changes for the new year? Because we're already a month and a couple days in. How has your year been off so far? Mine's been pretty great. Why? Because I'm staying consistent. I understand that if you do the work now, it's going to pay off now. You know, I told people I don't like working out, but guess what? I show my workout videos 3 times a week with my trainer, everything. I'm up at 6 o'clock at the gym working out. And guess what? At first, I wasn't really seeing the results, but now I look like an athlete. Who would have ever thought? Literal shit. No one never knew me for being an athlete, but guess what? When I'm in that gym, I'm being trained like one. Because guess what? You got to get better in every area of your life. Health, wealth, business, everything. I treat it all the same. So the same way I go hard in business, same way I go hard in taking care of my health. Because guess what? That's going to give me the energy and the drive to continue to go on. So again, it's going to be a good month. I look forward to it. We're going to put together some information that, like I said, you guys go out there and just do what I tell you to do. You're going to have success. You just got to do the work. Stop focusing on the win. Just do the work. Get better as a person. You want to get better because if you don't get better, guess what happened? You start to deteriorate. You don't want to be the person that's 60 years old and you can't walk. You need a walker. There's people that's 100 years old still walking around in the village, still, you know, in these different countries like Costa Rica and things like that. These are people that's 100 years old and they not sitting around, can't take care of themselves. They still moving like they 55. It's just all about the decision that you make to change your life. But if you want to have a better life, guess what? It all starts with you. So again, I pass the call back to you, Mr. Thomas. This is just a preview to get everyone prepared for this month. It's going to be a good month because the things that I've learned over these years, like I said, it's still working to this day because I'm still applying it. The team is still growing. We're getting new business partners in. We're getting new customers in. And guess what? That's the only thing that matters. And guess what? We're going to be in Dallas next month. Events are important. You know how excited we was about events? We drove across the country. I had people that drove through tornadoes. I remember driving through the snowstorm. You know, we did whatever it took to get to the event. How bad do you want it? I know I wanted it bad enough, so I did whatever. My people thought I was crazy. Why would you drive through a snowstorm in the middle of the night? Listen, we made it 7 hours. Actually, I think it took us about 15 hours because we had to pull over and park. But just imagine driving through a blizzard, your second event, with 9 people. And then from that 9 people grew to thousands of people. But if I would have never went to that one event, guess what would have happened? I probably wouldn't be talking to you guys in this car right now. But I knew that I had to be at every single event. So guess what I did? Every single event, you saw me. You saw me. And I was there with my team. When I hit RVP, I drove from Houston all the way to Arizona. I could have flew, but I needed to bring my team there. Listen, I've done it all. So everything I'm telling you guys to do, listen, I'm not telling you anything that I didn't do. I driven across the country. I did it all. But that's why I'm still here. Most people, they don't want to do it all. They want to take shortcuts. So because I don't take shortcuts, that's why I'm still progressing. And the people that did take shortcuts, no one remembers them. So I pass the call back to you, Mr. Thomas, and I look forward to being back with you guys next week.